Hey guys! This week's video is going to be about 15 things that people ask me about my tiny house or living tiny. And I'm going to start it off really fast because there's 15 of them this time instead of 10. Number 1, how do you move your tiny house? I don't have a truck or anything to move my tiny house. If I did need to move my tiny house, I would either, number 1, hire somebody, number 2, get a truck, number 3, maybe ask a friend or a family member for their truck, or number 4, I would probably rent a U-Haul truck to pull it myself. There are tiny house delivery drivers that's all they do, so you can hire one of them, or you can hire just a regular trailer mover and they could move your trailer for you. So I'm in my spot right now, and I'm going to be here for another 4 months. When I move my tiny house, the campground people are going to move it for me, then move it to my new spots. In a longer distance, I'll hire someone or probably get the U-Haul. Number 2 would be, do you love living tiny? Absolutely, I love living tiny. Other than all of the builder problems and all their mistakes that they made and that they've been making and blah blah blah, I am happy living tiny. I like it a lot better than living in an apartment. It's a different lifestyle living at a campground, and I'm loving that too. So yeah, I really love living tiny. Number 3, why did I go tiny? There's 2, maybe 3 basic reasons. Number 1, it was affordable. I felt that paying $1,000 in rent every single month and not seeing a dime of it ever again was like the biggest waste of money. I didn't want a mortgage. I didn't want a $1,000 to $2,500 rent payment a month, especially being on disability. I'm still glad that I decided to go tiny because now my rent in the campground is only $400. It's just way more affordable for me. Another reason why I went tiny was because my stuff was controlling me. I was a hoarder, maybe still a little bit of a hoarder. I started to feel closed in. Like everything had its space around my house. Everything had nooks and crannies of things where it went. Books belonged here. But when the bookshelves filled up and I didn't have anywhere else to put books, they started going in front of the bookshelves and piles started building up along the entire house. I'd say the 3rd reason would be for more freedom. I felt I was not free living in an apartment. I wasn't allowed to have 2 cats. I couldn't have my music this loud. I couldn't partake in certain other things that I enjoy doing, all because the rules didn't allow it. To be able to do whatever you want in your own home because you own it, it's pretty freeing, and only having to pay $400 rent, that's even more free. Number 4, what did I do with all of my stuff? So on an estimate, I would say I had about 5,000 to 6,000 items in my home. I kept track of everything that I sold, mostly everything that I sold, and ended up selling over 4,000 different items, making over $10,000 on Facebook and in a garage sale that I held. It wasn't junk or anything like that, but I needed to get rid of it in order to make space for the things that were important to me in this tiny house. I had to change my mindset. Sold most of my stuff on Facebook, also sold stuff on Let Go. You just post, chat, and let go. At the end, I used Let Go more because it was easier for me to meet the people to come pick up the furniture, and easier for me during the whole year that I was selling all this stuff to sell the stuff and ship it because it was smaller stuff. Number 5, what's it like living tiny? So far, so good. It's a little challenging at times. Of course, it's a smaller space, but hanging out with friends or whatever, we don't really hang out in my house. And when we do, we're sitting on the stairs or we're sitting on steps or pull-out steps. There really isn't a couch. Cooking is fine. Sleeping is fine. I'm getting used to getting dressed. I don't miss any of my stuff. I kind of don't even use any of my stuff now, so the more stuff that you don't need, get rid of it. Number 6, why don't I have a regular toilet? Number 1, I don't have a regular toilet because in the beginning, I wanted to live off-grid. I didn't want to rely on everyone else's stuff. I wanted to rely on my own stuff. So that's why I got the water reclamation system, compost toilet, and then I have electric, and I was going to move from electric to solar once I got money to do that. I like the compost toilet better because it's not wasting water. No more regular toilet for me, no more wasting all that water, no more dealing with black water. However, I did get multi-hookups just in case I sold this house, or just in case I did want to get a regular toilet. I did get plumbed for a regular toilet. So, number 7, why do you have so much storage? My apartment didn't have the adequate storage that I needed for everything that I needed. So I took a year to plan it, and I planned all of this storage. The storage that's in the business office, I planned all of that. Dresser stuff and all of this stuff back here, planned all of it. Planned all my kitchen storage. I had lists and notes for everything on where every single thing went. Not only that, but I've got storage for my craft show stuff as well. The outside I have craft show storage, and then I have more storage on the tongue area, and then more storage in the back. I will be prepared if I need to store a suitcase, a stroller, extra boxes. Number 8, why did I go through with the builder that I did if I had so many mistakes in the beginning? As everybody knows, I got my house built by Incredible Tiny Homes. In the beginning, we worked together very well. They treat you like family. They have you become friends with them. Yes, they'll claim they'll do anything for you. I was compromising on mistakes left and right. You know, oh, they'll make it better, they'll fix it. But then once they started not fixing those things, no, I'm not going to compromise on that, because now you want me to compromise on everything. The reason why I still went with them is because they pulled me in all the way till the end. Even after I got my house, a couple months into it, I was still friends with them until things went wrong and they didn't want to fix stuff. I'm not bashing the builder. I'm telling my negative experience. So why did you still go through with the build if you had so many problems with this builder? It was one of those transactions where they were working with you with anything and everything you needed to do until they weren't. So that's why I'm in the situation that I am in now. I'm not bashing the builder. I'm telling my negative experience. I have every right to warn the tiny house community. But I also love my house, and I have every right to do these videos and teach people how I'm living tiny. Number 9, how do your cats like living tiny? Oh my God, my cats freaking love living tiny. Rocky loves it. Romeo's pretty much on my bed all day, and right now he's on the couch. I kind of have a feeling that they think, you know, we're more of a family living closer like this. They don't have much room to run, so I'm going to be adding on additions on the outside of the house when I move to my new spot. I think they feel comfortable in their space. I think they feel they have enough places to sleep. They can sleep on my bed. They can sleep in their loft. They've got places down here. There's enough things for Rocky to get into. He can climb up his ladder. I think they love it. Here, let me show you something. That right there is like a little bit of stairs that I made for the cats. Yeah, and they don't even use it, so yeah, they don't use it. But I did build with them in mind. They were one of the most important things, as well as storage. Number 10, when I have friends over, where do they sit? Where do you hang out and relax? It's not a comfortable living area, and that's just being honest. So when I'm alone, I relax and I hang out up in my bedroom loft. And when I have people or friends over, we're usually hanging out downstairs on the stairs. They're sitting on the stairs, I'm standing up. I'm standing or sitting by the stairs, they're on the couch. So I am either going to have to make a lounge area outside or make it better in here, or when I get to my new spot, there'll be a fire pit, so I'll have seats around there. Number 11, are you really saving tons of money? I no longer need $1,000 to pay my rent. My car's paid off. I don't drive to work. I walk right across the field, so that's saving me gas money. I no longer give my cats wet food, so I'm saving on that. I pay $50 in electric, but when I move to the other spot, I'm going to be metered, so I will be paying for what I use. And as far as groceries, since I work at the restaurant right across the field, I get my first meal for free, and my second meal I get half off, or any other meals I get half off, so that's saving me on groceries, where I don't have to go and get groceries. You are spending a little bit more money in repairs, but as far as living, yeah, I am living off of my waitressing job, and I'm not hard up for cash. I'm not taking out of my savings, and yeah, it's pretty nice living tiny because you save a ton of money. Number 12, how does heating and cooling work? So I have a Mitsubishi mini split. It's half air, half heat. When I have my heat on, doesn't always heat up the whole house. I had one space heater and I purchased 2 more space heaters, and I put them at each end of the house, up in my bedroom loft, and then the mini split. And in the summer, all I really needed was the mini split because it cooled the entire house. Number 13, why do you still have so much stuff? Jenna from Tiny House Giant Journey came to film my house for her YouTube channel. She filmed my video and then she put it on her YouTube channel. There have been over 1 million views to that video. So many people made the comment of, why does she still have so much stuff? When Jenna filmed the video, she panned it over towards my office, and that's what the people see. When you see that in a video, you see all that stuff. That stuff isn't stuff that I live with in my everyday life. It's my business, so I sell that stuff. It's inventory, it's supplies, it's stock. I decided to put on display all of the rest of the stuff. It doesn't look crowded at all to me. Even the books being on my shelves don't make it look crowded. It may make it look crowded to you guys, but considering I used to have this, yeah, like tons of books. I used to have all of those books. Now when I look at my books, I'm like, where did all my books go? I don't feel like I'm cluttered, but maybe in a small space it does look a little cluttered. I think Jenna made a great video. If you want, check it out right here. She's Tiny House Giant Journey. Goes around touring different tiny houses and stuff, and I had the pleasure of having her here. Number 14, how do I cook with no microwave or stove? Easy, an electric cooktop. So because I have electric, I get to plug in this little electric cooktop right here. That is how I make 95% of my meals. I have the toaster for any bread, waffles. I also have a ricer if I want to make rice. I have a blender if I want to blend stuff. I have a NutriBullet, and then last but not least, I have a crock pot. And last but not least, number 15, why did you pay so much for your tiny house? I paid $58,300. I think that's a pretty good steal for a tiny house. I had researched a couple other tiny house builders and they wanted like $20,000 more. I feel like I got a great deal on my tiny house. The more that people started to say, why'd you pay so much? I started kind of analyzing, why are they saying that? A lot of the people who were saying it thinks that RVs are so much cheaper. And I didn't want to live in a cheaply built recreational home. I wanted to live in a tiny house, a home. Yeah, that was 15 things that people ask me about living tiny. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Or, you know, let me do this one over. What was I just talking about?